UFC Fight Night Bonfim versus Brown, my friends. You have come back to see if I can keep the streak going. You've heard whispers about my 12-1 card, didn't you? And you want to actually respect the picks this week? Well, come along. Let me show you what I can really do. We've had a couple cancellations. Not sure if you guys have seen that. Donte Johnson steps in for Robert Valentin against Jackson McVey. Whoa. Robert Valentin has hurt his back. And also you'll see here that Christian Quinones has withdrew against Adrian Yanez, which would have been a good banger. And Adrian Yanez was a bit of a spotlight on the card that everyone was keen for. So a little bit disappointing. We're down to 12 fights, but the show goes on. Well, I went 12-1 last week, so maybe if we lose one, 12-9, what you reckon? Go on. But, I'll just get into it. And there'll hopefully be a multi in the comments that hits, like it did last week. That was paying $14. You've seen it. But we'll start with the first one here. Jackson McVey fights Donte Johnson now out of nowhere. Was going to pick Robert Valentin, and I will pick Donte Johnson, even though they'll have the exact same record if Jackson pulls this one off, which I think he could. They're both 26, but I like the momentum. I love stories like this. Donte's a savage for getting back in there, even though it's not. Like, it is you could say, a bit of a free matchup. Jackson could give him problems, but I do think Donte wins this one in the first round by KO. Hopefully he uses his hands this week, even though he was wrestling a lot last week against Dumas. Still worked. Dumas didn't do that good. I don't see Jackson throwing heaps of spinning elbows and having the same approach as Dumas. I can see him selling out to try and get it to the ground, being a bit intimidated by Donte's stature. Not sure what the odds are for this one, but I reckon he'll be a bit of a sizable favourite, more than Robert was, and I do think he wins. But it's an iffy one. But yeah, I think most people are going Donte Johnson. Well, I haven't heard, but you'd imagine. And I'm going him as well by knockout. Reckon he probably chins McVey. Gets the finish streak, keep going. Yeah. Wins this one surely, right? Surely he's better than Jackson McVey, but maybe Jackson will shock us. He's 26, but I don't rate him at all. I don't think he's that good. All right, and we'll move on to a pretty nice prelim. Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. Now, Daniel Marcos just lost his O in his last fight. Now it's time to rebuild, get back on the win column. I do think he beats Miles Johns across the distance here. Now, this is a little bit worrying. Wow, he's actually older than him, which is crazy. I bet you wouldn't be able to guess that if someone asked you who's older in this matchup. But I do think Daniel wins. Miles is a bit of an overhand. Josh Emmett Merchant down at bantamweight. Doesn't even get a lot of KOs as well. So, like he didn't KO Cody Gibson. He just got slept easily. Like, look at these. So it's hard to trust that. Daniel Marcos is pretty good at a close fight with Montel Jackson. I reckon he wins across the distance. I could see him even getting a late finish here, pouring it on. I reckon he'll have a really good third, a good second round as well. He's got good cardio. Miles John fades a bit. He's pretty basic and easy to figure out. And I do like Daniel's knees and the clinch and stuff and combinations. He's all right. He's not that bad. And I like when undefeated fighters lose their O. It's time to rebuild and get back in the win column. I do think he wins this one by decision. 30-27, maybe a 29-28, I don't know. He could get chinned, but I doubt. He's from Peru as well. Usually they have good chins as well. Yep, Donte wins by KO and Daniel wins by decision. The next one, bit of an iffy one that some people are going Tecia. I am going Denise Gomes, and I've thought about this one, and I do think Denise Gomes should win. She's only 25 as well, which I really like. Super young, and she's got big power in her hands. I think Tecia might be doing well early. She might have slicker boxing and more polished striking, but I reckon Denise will be able to win the moments. She could even hold her own in the grappling here. I don't know if it does hit the deck, but I think if it does, Denise can actually be winning, even though that's usually Tecia's strong suit to fend off the grappling. Esparza still got her down and stuff. I wasn't even sure if she really won that one, and I do think she might get the KO. I'm not too sure, but I'm going Gomes by decision, winning the moments. Like maybe Tecia's winning the first 3 minutes, bang, big overhand, cracks Tecia, puts her down. I can see Tecia getting hurt in this fight by big shots. She's usually a tough girl, so I do think Tecia Torres was her name. She gives like Mexican vibes, but I do think Denise is the younger fighter. Her loss is Eduarda Mora. Oh, Angela Hill, yeah, true. But Eduarda Mora, very close. She's got big power. She'll be able to win this one across the distance. And they like damage and how they score girl fights. I do think they should go to Denise here. You know, Tecia's going to have to school her the entire fight for her to win this one. I don't see. I reckon Denise wins by decision or maybe KO, of course. That's the option, but Tecia's usually pretty tough and stuff. I don't know if she's ever been finished in her whole career. Let's just have a check. No, look at that. A lot of decisions, though. Jesus, it is unanimous decision simulator on her record. Look at that. Look at that shit. What the fuck? One finish. And then, Sam Hughes, that's a good win, isn't it? 5-1 though, must have got it early in the career, but seriously, decision simulator. When she loses, I thought she actually won the Dern one at least, but yep, Denise wins. All right, we're moving on. Now, I actually don't know a lot about this Max Jimenez guy, but Josh Hokit, he obviously following holy shit. Contender series. Sorry about that, guys. Should I start the video again or just keep going? 27. He's only 27. Jiu-jitsu guy, I've heard. I've never seen this guy fight in my life. Never heard of him until this fight got made. Looks like Josh Hocket's brother kind of thing. But he's look at that. Grappling. A lot of grappling. We just seen Buchecha come. Jesus! That goes on for a while. We just seen Buchecha come in and look shit. I doubt this guy's going to look that good. You know what? He could win, though. And look at that. Look at who he's fighting. Bums, cunt. 6-14, 9-9, 7-8. Has he ever fought someone with a winning record? 0-1. Nah, this guy's fraudulent. And lost there by KO to a 2-4 guy. Never fought a guy with a winning record. Has a jiu-jitsu background. Is the older man too. But 32 is a good age for heavyweights. Hokit's a bit of a prospect. Really good cardio as well. Good wrestling. Good ground and pound. I reckon he finishes Jimenez in the second round. At least TKOs him at some point via ground and pound. Ground and pound TKO. Remember I said that? Not that impressive though. That's how most people are probably going to pick him. But Jimenez fades and then loses or something. Maybe has a decent chance early. I'm going second round TKO though. I reckon he'll overwhelm him and just gas him out and then I think this guy's got good cardio. I like him. All right. And I like his little shtick as well. You wait till you see his Octagon interview. If he wins, heaven forbid, please win, because this guy I doubt is that promotable. And this guy, he at least gives us something. People will shit on him and call him cringe, but at least he's given us something. I like it. I thought he was pretty funny, and I want to see him again. So yeah, I'm keen to see what Josh Hokit does in his debut this weekend. We move on to the next fight: Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Bueno Silva. I will be going Jacqueline Cavalcanti to win this one. She's really good, and I do believe in this girl as a bit of a prospect. She's like young, 28. From Portugal, 9-1. She's like Mario Pinto's little sister down at bantamweight. I don't mind that, eh? Oh, win over Melissa Croden. That's not bad. Zara fan, yeah. But yeah, she's got good wins. She seems to be getting better every fight, which I like too. That was an easy one. Hands looked really slick in this fight. I don't know how that was split. That was a clear win. She dropped Nora Canol at a moment too. Really polished striking and rangy hands. Good defensive grappling as well. I don't know what Mayra's going to have for her. She fought for the belt, which is pretty funny, and then hasn't won since then. The Chasson win did not age well. Jusuda Vicious, that's not that bad, but she's not really giving much to these girls, and I do think Cavalcanti's at that level. That's going to beat her up a little bit. Definitely win this one, 30-27 on the feet. Rangy. She's out of range. Good twos and straight punches. I like this girl. I think she's good. Wins this one by decision. Maybe... Bueno Silva's a good dog. She's like $3, and it is a good. It is a good women's fight, and she's a bit of that vet status. Maybe it's too much too soon for Cavalcanti. These ones are always a little bit iffy, but I do think Cavalcanti should win by decision. Next one. Now this one, look at that, near even the pick'em of the card. There's always one, and I'll be taking Hyder Amil. I do believe in him here to bounce back and get in the win column. He's 36, which it just clocked in my brain as I clicked on. You forget how old he was because he's 11-0. I can barely speak. 35 though, not 36 yet. But I do think he wins this one. I reckon Jamal Emmers' age has been showing recently. Hasn't had the best of performances. Gabriel Miranda's a fucking can for the taking. Knocked out by Nate Landwehr in the first round. Hurt badly. Slept with an uppercut right hook by Nate Landwehr in the first round. It was like a bit fluky, but that shouldn't be happening. That was very close, and he is really good. But I do think Hyder Amil will be able to just get through his slickness early and put it on him really badly late. I've actually got him by third round TKO, but I can see him winning a decision, getting the last 2 rounds. And something I want to show you about Jamal Emmers, which I quite like for this fight, is ever since he joined the UFC, there it is there, LFA, where road to M1, bang, first debut, loses. Then next fight wins. Then next fight loses to Pat Sabatini by heel hook. Pretty cool. and then beats that 23-0 guy, then loses, then wins. Then loses, then wins. You see where this is going. And now he's fighting this weekend. Surely that trend that has followed him ever since his debut holds up. He loses to Hyder Amil, but I do think he's a little bit old, a little bit chinny even, can fade. Goes a little bit too hard early doors. Maybe he'll have a really slick performance. He could school Amil here, because Amil's not that polished, and Gomes was doing really good, but he even poured it on and beat Gomes. And I think Gomes is a younger, better Emmers at this point. And Amil's got a granite chin, even though Delgado slept him. Like, Delgado's going to do that to you. I reckon he'd fucking maybe sleep old mate Emmers here as well. And I love the win-loss thing as well. Come on, you got to love that, right? Hyder Amil wins with his granite chin, great pace, insane cardio. Seriously, his cardio is insane. Combination punches. I can see him hurting Emmers and putting it together and finishing him, or a decision. You know, people are probably going to go decision. I'm saying late finish. He pours it on Emmers and gets the cool finish. Maybe Ennie's behind and he has to do it too. All right, main card time. Yep, because we lost a couple fights. Well, just one. All right, Marco Tulio fights Christian Leroy Duncan, the best fight on the card. You could maybe say, I reckon, for sure. Yeah, let me lock that in. This is a good card looking at it, you know. Sucks that we lost the Gimenis fight, but just looking at this, like, look at that main card. Really good main card. Is that not Ricky Simone into Bonfim Padilla, into Uros Muslim, Schnell Morales, maybe maybe the weakest fight on the main card. But even the Hokit fight, you know, I'm actually excited. I'm actually pretty keen. This is a good card. And Marco Tulio versus Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD. I will be going Tulio here by decision. By decision. I'll give CLD a bit of respect. He seems like someone who'll stick in there and hang tough. They're about the same age, but I just think CLD's a really good hammer and not the best nail. And this guy, you know, he's won 4 times since that U-Street fight, which is pretty crazy. All by KO as well. He is a phenom. I really believe in this guy. Trayshawn Gall's not the best win, but the way he did it was outstanding. He fucking embarrassed Trayshawn, flying knees and spinning kicks. This is going to be a bit of a spin-off. This is going to be a couple Beyblades in there, because they both love to spin like crazy. Wow. I just realized this is going to be a crazy spin-off, and we're going to see who can spin the best. But I do think CLD, there was a moment in this RoboCop fight where I was like, this guy's not good at, like, he doesn't have slick head movement in the pocket. He, like, kind of shies away and leans his head back and just kind of hopes he doesn't get chinned. I swear to God, he's not good at when people come forward and actually throw strikes at him. So I do think Marco's going to be able to win this 130-27. Maybe CLD pulls it off in a crazy upset. Well, it wouldn't even be that crazy. Look, he's a slight dog. But I think Marco should have this one all day. I believe in this guy. I reckon he'd beat the fuck out of Marvin Vettori. He'd ruin Brendan Allen's day. Sleep Whitaker. Beat anyone. Seriously, I believe in this guy fully. I reckon he's an absolute beast, and I love him. If he gets the TKO crazy, I'm going to say he doesn't, but I reckon he might, and he probably should, and then shock me, and I'll be really impressed, but then I'll go decision. I'll go decision just in case, because, I don't know, CLD's never been finished. I don't think, so probably has a good chin. Going to take a lot of big shots, and maybe make Marco not pour on a finish with all these weird elbows and spinning shit. Maybe he clips Marco with the spinning elbow, honestly. Year of the spinning elbow. He'll throw some elbows, but I do think Marco beats him across the distance. He's just better, more game, better at he's just better at everything. I do believe that. Better grappling too. And CLD, the RoboCop fight, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Was not good at, like, when someone actually has balls and presses him back. Every one of his wins, the guy's just given him space and let him beat him, basically. And any time he's actually had to take a step up, he doesn't win. Look at his wins. Dusko, Todorovic, knee injury, Talulin, Claudio Ribeiro not in the UFC, Talulin not in the UFC, Puliev, not the best win, Eric, like, seriously, look at his fucking wins. They're shit. He's actually the most prolific can crusher of all time. Decision over Will Curry, guess what? He's shit too, isn't he? So yeah, but 2 fucking fights back to back against Will Curry. What the fuck? What's the point of that? And then 8-0 guy, that's a pretty good win. Spinning elbow, flying knee. This guy's crazy, but yeah, he's a can crusher, and Tulio's a phenom. Let me see some of his wins just in comparison. Like that U-Street win is aged like flying white. Even though it's 5-2, 35-19, 22-7. I like these. I like Brazilians. And God, he's on a roll since the U3 won. We were all thinking, damn, U3's so shit and that Marco guy's not that good. And then it turns out Yusri's a beast and Marku is a fucking savage. So yeah, it's weird how stuff like that happens. He was on the Vault card. Oh wow, didn't know I was on that card. All right, I was on that one for way too long. Sorry. I like that fight. Marco's gonna win as well. Style on him a little bit, spinning off and beat him, hurt him at moments, but CLD sticks in there because he's a tough guy. Tough guy, probably has a good chin. All right, and next one, Ricky Simone versus Raoni Barcelos. I've labelled this as the lock of the card. I know, a little bit of an iffy one, but not really. Shouldn't be. Ricky should win this one, and I reckon he's going to knock out Raoni Barcelos at some point with a big tasty knockout with his hands. He's got big power in his hands. Just slept Javid Basharat. Oh, no. Yeah, that was a decent fight. Smotherman's really good too. I could see Smotherman beating Raoni Barcelos. Potentially, I don't know. But yeah, he's actually been on a decent run. But I think it ends here. I didn't like the Cody win that much. I actually think now that everyone's talking about riggedness of shit, this one looked a little bit rigged, the Talbot performance. We'll see how he looks against Henry. Because his whole demeanour that whole week, everyone's been talking about fights that have been rigged. This is actually one that's popped into my mind. This was so weird and the odds were so mad. I could see Talbot maybe getting a payday to throw that one by decision, just not try very hard. Because, God, it just didn't seem like a real switch on Talbot. And then he goes and beats Lima in his next fight. It's like, what? But, yeah, maybe he lost his own. He just looked so deflated that whole week. Like he knew that he had to lose, but he wasn't happy about it. Oh, that's a conversation for another time. But, yeah, Ricky wins this one. Fucking slumps Raoni at some point badly. I don't know why it all has decision. I reckon he's going to knock him out. I reckon Raoni doesn't have the best chin, can get hurt by big shots. Bit slow, doesn't have the grappling to deal with Ricky, as in like he won't be able to take him down. It will be on the feet, and I reckon Ricky's got better cardio, better boxing, better power. I reckon he's got this one in the bag for sure. I don't know what Raoni really offers. I don't know how he wins this one across the distance. I don't see him taking Ricky's back and winning rounds, submitting him, knocking him out. Like surely, right? Ricky wins this one, sleeps Raoni, but maybe lets me down and goes to a decision dominantly. Where he wins every round, maybe drops one. But no, Ricky wins for sure. Ricky wins for sure, right? You're picking him too, aren't you? All right, moving on to, not the featured fight. Ismael Bonfim fights Chris Padilla, whatever. And I'm going Ismael Bonfim. I do think he wins this one wickedly fast. Chris Padilla has been pulling it off recently, but he's not that good. He's a tasty dog and people do like him. Taco Padilla, he's a fan favourite for sure. But came in, long top, not that good, was losing the Rongju fight, then got a pretty clutch elbow to his eye. And then the Jai Herbert one, I don't even know if he really won, but I think Bonfim is a little bit faster. The McKinney performance is still amazing. He's been having a tough go of things, but you know what? Losing to Benoit and Nazim, is that shit? No, it's not. It's not shit, is it? Like, would Padilla beat those guys? Maybe not. I don't think so. But yeah, I do think Bonfim's way faster, good technical boxing. He's got really good grappling as well. Remember the grappling exchanges he had with McKinney? He was like trying to take McKinney down, holding his own, reversing positions. McKinney couldn't do shit to him and kind of was backed up and like a bit defeated and then got slumped badly. One of the sickest debuts ever. And I just think Padilla's met his match here. He can't keep pulling it off, right? He's a good dog and I think a lot of people will maybe be picking him this week, but I do think Bonfim should be able to get this going. Unless he's just shit, you know? Like, I really had high hopes for him coming into the UFC. He's let me down a couple of times. Everyone picked him to beat Benoit after that one. But I did pick Nazim. But he was doing good in the Nazim fight, tuning him up for a little bit. He's wickedly fast, way faster than Padilla. I don't think Padilla's that good. Doesn't have the best grappling or the best striking. Not the best popping his shots. Just a really decent guy who can pull it off. I don't think he won the Herbert one. Herbert was doing really good against him. And I think similar with the rangy, nice striking. So yeah, Bonfim wins by decision. Does win. I do think Bonfim wins this one. If Chris wins this one, Jesus Christ. Like, when's it going to end? All right. And we're moving on. To the featured fight. Now, this one everyone's looking forward to. And the community dog of the week. Muslim Salikhov fights Uros Medic. And I will be taking Uros Medic. Yeah, I do think he wins this one. I think the road ends here for Muslim. This is the last decent version of Muslim we're going to see. Oh, shit. Win, loss, win. How long does that go for? That's not a trend, is it, Uros? You've won back-to-back fights, right? Oh, nice. He has. Oh, he does it. Okay. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. Oh, okay. Yeah, he wins. He wins for sure. And he's going to knock him out as well. Jeez, Uros is a finisher of the highest order. Either he's getting finished or he's finishing. Jesus. He's never been the distance. Okay, I didn't know that about this guy. What the fuck? What a freak. What a freak of nature. You're seeing this, right? Punch, triangle choke, punch, triangle choke, KO. Kicks to ground and pound. Okay. Flying knee to ground and pound. Then he gets submitted by Jalen down at lightweight. He wasn't that good down there. Finishes Omar Morales. Slumps Semmelsberger with a spinning back fist. Didn't slump him, but good KO. Oral bye, that's tough. Punahele, fluke, and but that will happen. You'll get caught. And then slept Urbina and Means. Not the best wins, but I don't think Muslim Salikhov is that good. Did wheel kicks Canan. He's been on a run. This was a bit fluky as well, the Carlos Leao win. I don't know how many times that happened. And Carlos Leao was super overconfident. The Ponzinibbio win, not good. Not that good. Slumped by Randy Brown, easily lost to Dalby. Slumped by Li Jingliang, KO'd. He does get KO'd a lot. He doesn't have the best chin. Not a lot, actually, looking back. But, yeah, I don't know. I just think he'll be a step behind the faster, younger kickboxer. I reckon he'll be doing all right. Maybe hurt. Jesus, look at the age gap. 32 to 41. Fuck, this guy's getting old. Damn, 78% of pickers on fucking Muslim. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm going Uros. I reckon he's going to knock him out at some point in the second round or something. I just reckon he's sharper and rangier. And if he doesn't get caught, he should get this one done. Just a little, like a reinvented, better version than Muslim is right now. He is still old, and the wheel kick was sick. The Ponzinibbio fight, you know, these aren't the best performances. He's not that good, really. But I feel like people are recency bias kind of shit. But Uros is pretty good. The Puna loss sucks, but shit happens. You know, he got caught. I doubt that happens most of the time. And yeah, he is really sharp and really good at finding the chin. I do believe in him. Really fast too. I do think he should be able to beat up Uros at least across the distance or slump him at some point. Catch him with a good shot. I reckon he's going to catch him in the first or second round. I've gone Uros by knockout. Uros by knockout. All right, co-main event. You thought I wasn't picking a dog. I had all the favourites like a bitch. Well, no. It all ends here. I'm going a dumb dog, and his name's Matt Schnell to beat Joseph Morales. Yeah, come around. I do think this one happens. I've thought it since the fight got made, and I can't pick all the fucking favourites. That would have been so lame. Would have been so fucking lame. But yeah, Matt Schnell, I do think he is going to get the jump on Joseph Morales here. In Joseph Morales' debut, I didn't like the Ismael performance. Do we not get to look at that? Oh, well, you know, on tough, he robbed Ismael Rodriguez. Now, Ismael is a beast. Will probably run through Matt Schnell. But styles make fights. Morales doesn't have the most competent striking. He's got good grappling, but that's what Matt Schnell's kind of known for. I think he has the defensive grappling to fend off Morales. I've actually got him by split decision. One of the scorecards going to Morales, but two going to Schnell, ruining everyone's parlays. People aren't sure that he should have won, but he does. Morales wins the first, then Schnell gets the second or the third. Schnell does have good boxing combinations, and he is fairly decent. He just doesn't have the best chin, and he can get caught in subs and stuff. Maybe Morales chokes him out. That's what most people are probably going to be picking. But the Erceg performance, like he cracked Erceg, and he had fast boxing for a little bit. The Durden fight wasn't that bad. And something that I like about him, which you might not know, he's never lost to someone with a name starting with J. Yeah, that's true. You go back to the dawn of time, even his amateur career, there's an R, there's a D, but he always beats someone named J. Oh, I need to chuck that in too. Jeremy, Josh, Joe. He has never lost to someone who starts with J. Jason, you see that Jason there? Then we keep scrolling up. Look at his losses. Clayton, Elias, who cares? Those don't start with J. But who does he beat? Jonathan Martinez. Come on, win over Jonathan Martinez. Then gets revenge on Clayton. Oh, that's nice. Tim Elliott, no. Rob Font. That's crazy. He fought Rob Font. Hector. These guys don't start with J. Pantoja. Come on, he's fighting Pantoja, man. Jordan Espinoza, though. That guy starts with J. Brandon, no J's. This guy, he starts with J. Always beats a guy starting with J. Never loses. That is unparalleled breakdown, and you're welcome for that. You wouldn't have known that unless you watched my video. And I just think he wins this one. I reckon he's got better boxing combinations. And I think there's a thing like Joseph Morales' main goal was to really win that tough season. He was counted out so much in the finale. Everyone had Alibi Idris winning. I think there's a big difference to being counted out, no pressure on you, $4 underdog, and now you're the fucking co-main event in your UFC debut. You know who Matt Schnell is. You probably follow the UFC. You know that he's chinny and that he's an easy win and he's a bit of a can. And there's a lot of pressure. You're a big favourite in your debut. You're expected to win. No pressure on Schnell. He was a favourite against Jimmy Flick. I like that he's back in his underdog roots because people just think they're going to get an easy win. And then, what the fuck, cunt? How have I ended up there? People just think they're going to get an easy win, and then he kind of gets the jump on them with clean striking. And I just think if you're going to try and grapple here, Schnell will be able to fend it off a little bit and get this going late. I think Morales fades if he doesn't get what he wants. The Immonen performance I didn't like, but Immonen's pretty good, so that might be a thing. I reckon he might get takedowns for a little bit against Schnell. Schnell might make some bad decisions, but then Schnell reverses positions, stands it back up, is weirdly getting the better of Morales on the feet with faster, slicker hands. Yeah. And, you're going to land hard. Like, Cody Durden was kind of selling out in their fight to try and chin Schnell because, he's heard the law. Schnell's an easy chinning, but I feel like that happens a lot. Like, you really think you're going to easily beat him, and then you struggle heaps. Like, Bruno Silva against Gerald Meerschaert. Seeing the highlights, thought he was going to knock him out. Got hyped because he almost beat Pereira. Didn't almost, but, did decent against Pereira, and then Gerald beats him. I do think there's a bit of a mindset thing. Massive favourite, co-main, UFC debut, the jitters and stuff. A lot of pressure. You have to beat Matt Schnell. You know who Matt Schnell is, Joseph. He's a can. He's an easy win. Go do it. And then Schnell weirdly gets the jump on him in the second and the third round and has a really good third round and wins this one by split decision. Yep, split decision win for the danger man, Matt Schnell. And I look like a genius or I look like an absolute fuckwit. Either one. There's no way around it. Or Schnell gives a really good account of himself and it's a split win to Morales and then everyone's like, hey, I see what you're thinking there, Lorenzo. Good pick. All right, and main event time. Main event time. Gabriel Bonfim fights Randy Brown. And like a lot of people, I will be picking Randy Brown also. I've got him by decision. I like that this is, I think it's both of their first main event. But I think it's really a bad thing for Bonfim. This is your first main event. You can barely go 3 rounds, buddy. Now you go on 5. Good luck with that. Fades against Dalby so badly. Fades against Bonfim. Fades against Wonderboy. I did think Wonderboy won that. And now it's another rangy guy with a decent get-up game. He can get hurt on the feet. And Bonfim does have decent boxing combos. So there is a chance that he wins this one. He's a favourite for a reason. I could see him finishing Randy. But I'd like him maybe better in a 3-rounder where he knew if he went hard for a finish, I've only got 1 round, kind of thing. Whereas, is he going to push hard for a submission and throw hard boxing combos early when he's got in the back of the head? I don't really have the best cardio. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this going in round 4. I do think Randy, if it gets there, he's going to have a great round 4 and a great round 5, be able to get up. Also, there's a big thing. Now, this is a good point. There's a big thing to when people rob someone in their last fight. We just seen it with Volkov. And kind of our mate are like, the judges don't give you any favours in the next one. They hear about this shit. They don't like it either. They're like, oh, he just robbed Wonderboy Thompson. That round was close. No, give it to Randy. That kind of shit. I can really see that. I do think Randy wins this one, maybe 48-47, 49-46. Could even see him getting a late finish on a gas Bonfim. But maybe Bonfim loses rounds early, taking them off to try and save energy. And then before you know it, you're just behind crazily. 28-35 isn't the best. And Randy Brown has got hurt in a lot of his fights, which is a bit scary. But Bonfim's not really hurting people. Maybe he does win this one. Drops Randy, could submit him, could definitely submit him. Big, tall guy like that, if he gets him down, there'll be opportunities. JDM submitted him, And but he did slump Salikhov easily in the first round. The Battle one was close. I thought he beat Brian Battle. Did get dropped by Dalby, but then slumped Dalby badly. It was a sick fight, and no one's ever knocked Dalby out before. And this guy lost to Dalby as well. So if you're going like that, well, really, the way MMA math works, he probably loses then, assuming he's beaten the guy that he's lost. You know how it goes. But I do think Randy wins this one with big rangy striking, able to keep it on the feet, or work his way back up. Bonfim not establish enough dominance to get his breath and win these rounds. And also judges will be like, fine tooth comb, Bonfim's got to clearly win to get them scored because he's just robbed Wonderboy. I do think Randy's a good dog here. Everyone's picking him. And I agree. I think he wins this one as well. I think they And it's weird because, like Guru said, come kill this guy, and then they made it. I do think they maybe want Randy to win. Big tall guy, yeah, it's hard to take these tall guys down. I do think Randy should be able to get this one done across the distance, at least win 3 of the rounds. I think 4 and 5 should be his all day. Bonfim slows down, doesn't have the most power, doesn't seem to, this UFC level, doesn't seem to be able to really submit everyone and establish this crazy grappling, you know. Chaos was getting back up to his feet. Chaos is this fucking shit win. Lusa, no, not that good, you know. Trevin Giles, Manila says, I don't know. Trey Waters, that's all right. But we'll see about this one. A lot of submissions on this guy's record, of course. Will he be able to do it against Randy? I say no. I've got Randy by decision. And yeah, that's the picks, guys. I feel like I went for a little bit of a while there. Yeah, 30 minutes. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. The hair maybe ended up looking like a bit of shit. But yeah, that's what we've got going. Donte by first round finish, KO. Marquez either by round 3 finish or decision, but I've got decision. Denise Gomes, I could even see round 3 finish. How often are girls getting round 3 finishes? That seems to be how they always do it. Melissa Croden, Talita Alencar. So many third round finishes in the women's divisions. It's crazy. Edwards versus that Butch girl that she versed. You know, it's so many. So look out for a third round finish. Hokit gets a ground and pound TKO in the second. Cavalcanti, clear decision win. Waist liquor. Amil, 29-28, all gets the third round finish. I'm going Amil by TKO. Tulio gets the dominant decision. Ricky knocks out Barcelos badly, flatlines him as well. Bonfim, great scrappy fight, good decision win for Bonfim. Uros Medic catches Muslim and puts him away. Schnell gets the split win, robbery. And Randy Brown gets the clear decision win across the distance. Good stuff, Randy. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Maybe, hopefully, drop a good parlay. A lot of pressure on the parlay in the comment section after last week. But we're going to deliver again. Looking to deliver on the picks as well. 12 and 1. Let's try and get a good, you know, a good thing going here where everyone's tuning into my predictions because, damn, this Lorenzo guy's like nearly sweeping the card every week. What a phenom. I've won the Tapology group twice in 3 weeks now from the first win ever. Then did good last week. Then back to winning again. Come on. I'm doing something. I'm making moves here. I understand it now. All right. See you guys. Sorry. All right, hold on. That's it.